Hello, good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming and your patience with our technology. We are waiting for participants to trickle in right now. You are here for the Ann Arbor Public Schools Rec and Ed virtual information session, hiring for the before and after care program. So we're very grateful to have Zach Brannick and Jenna Bacalor here from the hiring team to share the ins and outs and the hiring process and the skills that they're going to be looking for candidates. And I'm just super excited and delighted to have them here. We are going to just go over some housekeeping. Um, and we appreciate you being here. So during this live presentation, please excuse cameos from canine colleagues and other unexpected moments. We hope this doesn't happen, but if the webinar were to suddenly close, please reopen this link and use it to attend this presentation. For privacy, all participants are in listen-only mode with microphones muted and cameras off. As all of our attendees are continuing to trickle in, there are a few more important reminders. Our panelists welcome you to ask questions and feel free to pop them in the Q&A button down below, and we will do our best to address them during the session, as well as reserve 5 to 10 minutes at the end of today's session to answer your questions. If you're viewing via a phone or a tablet, the Zoom app currently highlights speakers, so you may have to scroll over to the left or right. One last note, if you are posting to social media about what you learn here, please use the hashtag AAPS jobs. With that, we'd like to go ahead and start with a poll to get us going, just to understand where everybody is coming from. And we'll go ahead and launch the first poll. We have two positions that Jenna and Zach will be sharing with us today. One is about the program director role, and the other one is the child care assistant slash noon supervisor or lunch supervisor. And so as those are trickling in, it looks like we've got some great responses here. So we have a few interested in the child care assistant role as well as the program director role. So we're super excited because we'll be talking about both those roles today. So thank you for joining us. We'll go ahead and end that poll. And then the next poll that we'd love to hear again a little bit more from you is what matters most to you in terms of, is it flexibility, is it location, part-time schedule, or a full-time schedule? And we'd love to hear your answers. So thank you so much. Give it another second as a few participants are answering right now. Well, it looks like our two top most that matters to you, our audience, is that it is flexibility as well as location. So thanks so much for sharing that with us. Jenna and Zach, take note. Those are the two most important things folks are looking for. We'll go ahead and move forward. So I'm going to go ahead and close the poll. Thank you. Before we get started, I want to have this opportunity to share with you. Zach had a great opportunity to meet with some of the staff at location. And so you're going to hear a little bit from our current staff at the Rec and Ed who do these types of roles currently. So let's go ahead and hear this presentation. If you have any troubles hearing, just mention it in the chat window and we'll do our best to turn on the sound louder. Thank you so much.
A job that I can play.
Oops, let's start that from the beginning. There we go.
A job that I can play all day with kids. It's awesome. That's my favorite thing.
So I started here when my now 21-year-old was a kindergartner, and I guess I never graduated Pittsfield.
Oh, I've been here for 10 plus years.
And
I love it.
And you love it. What do you love so much about it?
I love the flexibility. I mean, you can't beat it.
All right. Thanks, Miss Davis.
I love serving our children and our families of AAPS. I like the flexibility it creates and the opportunity for growth, not only with the extended day program, but also within Ann Arbor Public Schools.
And the extended day program is the best place to be. I enjoy it, and I love being the first point of impact for our students and the last.
Kids playing with them, we get to keep them safe, we get to see what's going on from their perspective, and we get to make friends, we get to play.
What I enjoy the most about working in childcare is the opportunity to start a child's day off the right way and also end their day.
Well, great. So here you got a chance to hear from the incredible staff that works with children's enrichment and well-being. And it was so wonderful to hear that you hear from folks that have been there for 20 plus years, 10 plus years, and that they love what they do. And so we're going to hear a little bit more from Zach and Jenna. Zach is the supervisor. Sorry, I'm pulling. Let's move it. There we go. Did the slide move forward? There we go. Supervisor of the Before and After Care School Program. And so he'll tell you a lot more details about the program. And Jenna Bacalora, we're glad to have her here as well. She's the Executive Director for the Community Division of Ann Arbor Public School Systems. So Zach, can you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Sure. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I am currently the supervisor of the Before and After Care program. I've been here since 2013. It seems like it was yesterday, but it's been a while. I actually started as a site supervisor at one of our programs, and I worked there for about 1.5 years, and then I became an administrator, a site specialist. I then moved up to a specialist 2, and now I'm currently supervising all of our programs. It's been a blast. I'm glad you're here.
And Jenna, we'd love to hear from you.
All right. Hi, everyone. It's so great to have you here today. I'm Jenna Bacalor. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Division, which includes ReckonEd and all ReckonEd programs. And I've been with the district for almost 10 years now. And one of the things I love most is that we do create community among children and enrich their lives across all of our programs, including before and after care.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's so great. We heard from one of the speakers that they talked about the flexibility. So we've got to hear about that. And I know that was something important for our listeners. And then we got to hear from Zach being there since 2013, was it, Zach? And the upward mobility that you've had with it, and that is just taken off and leaps and bounds. So, and then now managing the whole program. So it's wonderful to see that. And I know Zach will speak to that a little bit more. So I want to go ahead and just share, Zach will go ahead and share about the positions for the Before and After Care program.
So I'm happy to share about the program positions. I think Jenna's also going to share a little bit about this. But I just want to say that we have a program director's position, which is a full-time position. We have childcare assistants and new supervisor positions that are available. And I'm going to hand it off to Jenna, who's going to talk a little bit more about those new positions that we've created as we move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm happy to do that. So these two jobs are something that we really crafted today, or not today, this year, to try to appeal to people who may be in different parts of their lives and add more benefits to the jobs. So the program director is a new position for our childcare program that is for someone who has a bachelor's degree or has significant credits toward a bachelor's degree. Who will work full-time and be out at sites a lot, be doing kind of that hands-on childcare, but also will be doing some administrative work too with Zach and me in the office. And actually, can you go back, Michelle? I was just giving an overview and then Zach's gonna do a little bit more. All right, so we're very excited about our combined childcare assistant / noon hour. And I know it's a huge mouthful. We were trying to think of some great name, but we have to describe what it is. And because sometimes we have people in the community who want to work, say, the morning childcare, and then they are happy to hang around and work the noon hour shifts supervising lunchtime, or they want to work a full day. So they want to work 40 hours a week, and they can do the AM shift, the lunch hour, and then the PM before and after care shift. And what we've been able to do this year is kind of break through some bureaucracy and add benefits to this job. So it's a combo job that involves healthcare and retirement benefits. We also have separately, you can be a childcare assistant if you're not interested in the noon hour position too, but we've combined these two functions so that we can add that benefit piece in case that is of interest to people. All right, take it away, Zach.
All right. So Jenna talked about a few things here, but on the next slide, you'll see that, for the program director position, really, we're going to be having somebody who is what's licensing considers a multi-site director. You're going to be over 1 to 3 schools, 1 to 3 programs that we have where we're providing the before and after school program. We're going to be supervising on-site staff. That means we might have up to like 3 or 4 assistants that we're training and overseeing during each program. You're also planning and implementing all the different assets that go on with our program, all the activities, all the healthy components that we do every day. And then we're going to be that person that communicates with our school community, the principals, the teachers, all our teaching assistants. You're also going to be talking with the families, talking with the staff, training them, and really working as a way to build community throughout. And then with our childcare assistant / noon hour supervision, as Jenna said, that is a mouthful, right? I want to make sure that everybody is aware it's not just working the noon hour, like you're not just working from 12 o'clock, but we do have staff who work, to help with the lunchtime during the day, during the school day. And so oftentimes I can start anywhere from 10:30, 11:30 on to like 1 or 1:30, depends on the school. But it also can be combined now with our before and after care positions, which is great. So really in this position, we have staff who are going to be assisting with the planning and implementation of all of our activities, whether it's through the before and after care program, so the morning and the afternoon, or it's in that noon hour, you're still assisting with all those activities that are going to be happening. You're still supervising students at lunchtime, and we're always responsible for students' safety and well-being throughout our programs, whether it be the before and after care or the noon hour during the day. So that's kind of an overview of those two positions.
Great. Thanks so much, Zach, for sharing that information and also the history of how the program has developed and also responded to the community, that need that Jenna and Zach talked about, providing a noon hour or lunch hour supervisory role and the before and after flexibility that for some of those that need it, but that you've created a role that allows for benefits and that perk that's out there for those that are seeking it. So I think that's wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and talk a little bit more. We're going to get into a little bit more of the Q&A questions that we have for you and also from some of the audience members that we've received. But if you don't mind, Jenna, if you could tell us a little bit of what it's like to be a part of the Ann Arbor Public School systems.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I'm happy to. I think there's a lot of great things about working for AAPS. And of course, I'm speaking as the department head for Rec and Ed and have to just put in a plug for us as a department. We're a very friendly bunch. We have fun. And one of the things about being in the before and after care program is being able to see lots of kids' smiling faces every day. And when I visit a program, hearing the children's laughter has been, they're just being kids, but laughing. And that has been really a wonderful thing during these hard pandemic times. But a couple specific things that set AAPS apart, I think, for employees are that we really care about employee growth and development. We pay our before and after care workers to attend training during the year. And Zach is going to get into more detail on this, so I'll just kind of leave that part there. But also another great thing about AAPS, and you can see from these beautiful pictures here on the slide, we have tremendous racial and ethnic diversity among our students and our staff. And this is enriching to our school district and to our before and after care program in so many wonderful ways. And finally, I think I'll say what it's like to work for AAPS, and specifically for before and after care, is that we do enjoy a lot of parent support and can develop relationships with families as well over time. As you know, we're taking care of their children for sometimes it could be 5 years. So we get to know the school community and families as well.
Great. Thanks so much for sharing that, Jenna. I appreciate hearing about it, and also the diversity of the programs and the staff and the friendly environment that the staff creates, the teamwork. And so let's ask a little bit more about what are you most, we talked a little bit already about the history of the before and after program, but I didn't know if we wanted to add anything in addition to it, Jenna?
I think I'll just say that it's a very stable program. We've been here for 30 years. We had 1 year during the pandemic that the school district was closed. So the childcare program was closed. That was a blip. And we're looking forward to many decades more of this program. It's really essential for our schools and for our community.
Thank you. Yeah, 30 years and only one blip. I mean, and that's a really testament to the program, and also the testament that you hear from the speakers that we got to, the staff that talked about being there for so long and have just a love for it in the community. And Zach is also a testament here as well. With that, let me ask, what would you say are the benefits of working in the before and after program center, and that's part of the school district, Jenna?
Sure. I think there's kind of different levels of benefits. Like the employment benefits are healthcare and retirement, and people can opt for vision and dental as well. There's like all these options. You can pick and choose all these different things. But I also think in a bigger picture, the benefits of growth and development as a childcare professional are really real, and job security. We have, as you could tell in this video, we have people who work for us for a long time, and it becomes like a family. We're together a long time. So I think that's what I would say, and Zach might have a little bit more too, but those are the items that I would mention.
I love that. I love the aspect of job security, having a need, and that the before and after care is such a need in the well-being of the children. And I think that's wonderful that you provide that for the community, and that you have this desire to respond to what the community is looking for, and just finding the right people to take these roles. So speaking of that, we're going to switch gears to Zach. What skills are essential, when you're looking for success in these particular roles, both hard and soft skills, if you can speak to that, Zach?
Sure. Yeah. So I think really what we're looking for, first and foremost, we want some energetic staff who are really excited to be working with students. You have to be kind of ready to go when you get to the door and the students are coming in. You just have to be engaged and ready. We're looking for motivated, empathetic, compassionate, staff who have some understanding of child development through the ages of 5 through 11. We're not asking that you have everything under the, that are in the books, but have some kind of understanding of developmental stages through ages 5 through 11, and definitely a willingness to acquire more knowledge. So we want you to really be excited about learning more every year, every day about what best practices are when we're working with students, and just really be interested in continuing that professional development throughout.
Great. So yes, hearing that about the continuous learning. I mean, our children, or our young children are learning. So being on that path to continuous learning, being flexible, having that energy is really important, and the compassion, as you spoke of, Zach. Okay, so what would be, and maybe there's two different paths here really, because the program director role will look different than what the child care assistant role would look like, but what's the typical day look like for each of these positions?
Yeah, so I love these questions. I think they're really fun, but just so we know, when we're working with students, there's no typical day, right? Every day is different. So we're going to find new things every day that we're going to be working on. But I will say that I'll talk about the program director position first. I think a typical day really involves just providing a fun and enriching environment for our students every day in each session that you're working. It's going to include supervision of on-site staff, like we talked about before, engaging with every student every day. So we really want you to build that rapport, that relationship with every student, whether it's just, hey, nice hat, we're so glad, that's really cool, where'd you get that? Or, working with them on some kind of art project or science activity. The program directors will be improving program quality and planning and preparation of, like we talked about, developmentally appropriate activities for students. During before and after care, we really want the program director to be giving immediate guidance and coaching to all of our site staff. It's those moments that are right there that you can do on-site training for our staff. It's great. And then the program directors, like I said, kind of touched on a little bit previously, they act as liaisons for families, community, and school staff. We're really building relationships and community at the same time, really. So I would say that's kind of the program director overview of a typical day, like what we're doing, and that just kind of evolves over time. And then for the before after care assistant, noon hour supervisor, that combo, a typical day for the staff really is starting by greeting the students in the morning when they get dropped off. Oftentimes we are the first staff to see these students in the morning. We're the ones where they're coming in all groggy, carrying everything, they're still sleepy, and we're gonna be peppy and excited to see them and give them some fun activity to do when they get there. So, you're engaging and welcoming to these students when they come in. You're really, in addition to engaging all the students in community building, you're orchestrating quality-driven programs and activities. You're actually the hands-on in that program every day. And the staff will continue building community relationships by supervising the students during their lunch recess time, the lunch and the recess time. And that's a great thing. You're kind of going from the before and after care, bringing some of those qualities right into the noon hour, the lunchtime kind of day during the school day. So it's kind of a great combination there. And like I said, you're often the first day to greet the students in the morning, and you're even the last person to see them at the end of their school day. So it's really building that relationship, getting to know the students, and finding some fun things to do. And obviously we strive to be engaging and positive throughout all the interactions that we're having with the students.
Great. It's I love how you said at the top of the of this question, Zach, that no day is typical, right? That there is a structure, but that you have a wonderful opportunity to be flexible and adaptable, and then also the training that is involved on the job, that in the mentoring and the coaching that the program directors offer for people on site, and I think that's wonderful. One of the questions that had popped up as well is, what type of training is there? So you touched on that as well, but I didn't know, is there anything else in terms of support for new employees, somebody that's brand new to this kind of environment?
Sure, yeah, definitely. So obviously training is like one of our biggest things. We love to train staff. It's like if I could just have a job of training, that's what I would do. So we provide extensive paid training for our new staff. including but not limited to, student safety, program management, family and community collaboration, child development. It really just, the list goes on. It's endless, all the professional development opportunities we have. The paid training is continued throughout staff's time with us. So it's not just when you're first hired, it's also throughout your career with us. And so we provide yearly professional development for all staff. That's again paid. And then we also have access, as a district, being part of this wonderful district, we have professional development that's offered district-wide on topics such as racial equity in education. So there's so many different training options that are available throughout the school year, whether they're through Rec and Ed, through the before and after care program, or district-wide that all of our staff may attend.
That's really fantastic, because I imagine from year to year, some things are, things have changed, environments have changed. And so hearing that there's this constant opportunities for staff to continue to grow and learn and gain new skills, even district-wide, is really important. So hopefully that puts people at ease that had the questions of like, well, I'm new to this, and what's out there for me to support me in this process. Thank you so much, Zach. Okay, we did have a couple questions that I'm going to hold for the moment, which are great questions, but I'll just raise it here so you know that your question has been received in terms of the salary annually, and then the other question was about the work and when schools are closed, how do you handle those situations? We're going to reserve that towards the end, but I wanted to let you know that we did receive your question. All right, so gosh, this is a question that came up too. What are the opportunities that are there for advancement?
Great question. So yeah, so like I started to say before, just in my intro, they're really endless. There's endless opportunities for advancement once you make it into the district. So whether you're looking to stay with the extended day program or as a district as a whole, there's lots of opportunities for staff. So like I said, for example, I started as a site supervisor at one of our programs. I became a site specialist, then a specialist 2, and now I'm supervising all of the programs. So there really are endless opportunities for staff within the extended day program or the district. Many of our staff continue working with us as they enhance or add to their district assignments. They might find they want to do some tutoring or, act as a teacher assistant during the day, but they still work before or after care, things like that. Once you become a before or after care team member, you gain access to all the internal job postings. And really, I think it's even more important than that, you start to build a professional network within the district. So you're building that rapport, you're building that community, and you're building relationships and you're starting networking yourself for different things and opportunities within the district. So just as simple as this, assistants, our before and after care program assistants, they can become site supervisors. Our site supervisors can become program directors, and our program directors can expand into other administrative roles. So, like I said, the options are endless. It's really a kind of a great opportunity.
So this is so special to hear that, because you've experienced it yourself, Zach, but that you could start out as a child care assistant, a new supervisor role, and then decide that you want to continue to expand your skill set and manage other folks, manage teams, put programs into place, and then eventually even look at the district wide. So you're not just narrowed to that specific school, but district wide. So I think that's great. It really opens up doors for everyone if they want it to continue to advance within AAPS Rec and Ed, or AAPS in general. And so, but it's so interesting because we have folks who, I just so happen to be friends with one of the team members that happened to be featured, Miss Samina. So she started out as lunch supervisor for many years, and we would meet to catch a coffee or a late afternoon snack. And then she eventually added on the AM and PM. So she does the before and after care. And we still have managed to squeeze in some time together between. So somebody had asked about flexibility earlier, or a few people had asked about flexibility. So that is there as well, as to still do part of your day that you need to get done in between those sessions. But that she's been there for 21 years, which is a testament of the enjoyment that she gets. Okay, so I'm so sorry. I get excited about it because I think there's just so much opportunity here. Another question that has come up is, very good questions. We asked about the advancement. What is the process for applying? I can't believe we're asking that already, but that's awesome. Thank you for asking those questions. Should I move to the next slide so we can just flip over to that real quick?
Sure.
If you want to cover that.
Sure, yeah. So at this time, I mean, if you're following this webinar, and all interested parties, we really want you to the next step is to follow the links that's provided right here at the website. So you can go to a2schools.org at RecNet and apply through our Apple Track system. You can also, we really want you to go through Amy Cell Talent and let them kind of filter through and start there with them. I think it's a great opportunity for you to start just following the links right here on Amy Cell. When you get to the Ann Arbor Public Schools website, it's pretty self-explanatory and kind of easy to follow. You'll create an email for yourself and kind of go through the process of asking questions, and you'll want to make sure that you have things available for you that are ready for you, kind of like a checklist, if you will, to make sure you're ready to answer the questions that they're asking.
Thank you, Zach. Yes, so definitely Ann Arbor Public School Systems and RecEd and Jenna and Zach want to make it easy for you. So applying right through the Amy Cell Talent portal, and then Barbie will help, with that process with a checklist, so that way you're getting the support that you need in order to apply. And so I appreciate that. Thanks so much, Zach. And we'll go over that slide again, but I definitely want to turn to the Q&A, because we've gotten quite a few questions that have popped up that might also generate additional questions to the team here. And let me start with this one in Q&A. Here we go. And I'm going to announce this live. Wondering if the program director position is a 12-month position or 10-month position, and if the director is expected to work daily or before and after care at the aftercare site. And then there's another addition to that. Also wondering approximately before care hours and after care hours, please. And I believe that's in our job postings, but go ahead, Jenna or Barbie, or Jenna or Zach.
I think we forgot, Zach, let me just say one thing. I think we forgot to say one really important thing, and that is about the summer work that is available. So for the assistant/noon hour, we will definitely have options for summer work, because RecEd runs 200 summer camps every year. And we run Safety Town, which is our preschool or rising kindergarten longstanding program. So there are lots of opportunities for summer work. The hours would be different, but the opportunity is there. And really, the same is true in some respects for the program director. So the program director can choose to get paid on a 10-month or on a 12-month. And so there may also be opportunities for summer work for program directors too. I lost track of how many. You asked a couple questions that I didn't answer, I'm pretty sure. Or
That's
that maybe
okay,
Zach should answer, yeah.
Yeah, it was tiered. So
Okay.
yes, so you answered the 12-month or 10 months. So it sounds as though there's opportunity over the summer, if folks wanted it, to definitely insert themselves and have an opportunity to work over the summer. Otherwise, it is basically an what month to month, what month time frame, Jenna?
Yeah, it's late August to mid-June. In terms of the pay, though, people can choose to have their salary come in if they're a program director in that 10-month time frame or over a 12-month. So it's similar to what teachers can do.
Thank you for that clarification, Jenna. I'm sure that helps out the questionnaire. But if you have additional questions on top of that, feel free to pop it in the Q&A. That's what we're here for, and Jenna and Zach are happy to answer them. They were asking about how many approximate hours total. would that equate to?
So if we're talking about the assistant / noon hour position, that's up to 40 hours a week for staff, because they can do both before and after care. They can also do that noon hour to assist during the school day. So up to 40 hours, again, thinking about the flexibility, what works for staff, but you have the ability to work up to 40 hours. And then for our program director position, that's a 40-hour a week position. So yeah.
Great. So up to 40 hours. So there is some flexibility there. Even with the child care assistant role, I know that child care assistant / noon supervisor role, that also has some flexibility. Mainly you're looking for full-time, but also have some part-time to be flexible with the community because of the need. So I love that. There's additional questions here, Jenna and Zach. What's the best and most, or what's the best, and then what's the most difficult thing about working with small children? I'd love to start working with children, but I haven't been exposed yet.
Yeah. So I think the best thing is that you're working with kids, and they're so easy to kind of get along with and kind of, learn. I don't want to say learn as you go, but it's easy to learn more things of how you can better handle situations as a staff member. So the best thing by far is working with the kids every day, the students, seeing them every day. And they really do say the darndest things, and they try, different things. And it's really fun to be a part of that. The other thing I would say for somebody who's new, who has really a little or no childcare experience, one of the greatest things that we offer here is really all of that training that goes into kind of working with students. And a lot of it's going to be on site. It's going to be right there. Something happens and you have somebody to go to say, hey, what do we do in this situation? And it's there and you work through it. So that professional development is key. You can really learn once hired in this job what to do and what the developmental stages are, and kind of how to go about that with students.
That was a great question, and it's great. Again, Zach's shared with you all the wonderful training that's available, on the job training, and those wonderful perks that you get when you hear what children have to say during the day, and it's so beautiful. And I actually said to Samina at one point, you should have these isms, child isms book, of what's said, because it's just really fun and cool. And then one other perk that she shared with me, if you don't mind me sharing this, is that kids come back to the school to see her and say hello after they've graduated. That actually brings tears to my eyes. I don't know.
We actually haven't talked enough about the important role that our before and after care workers play in kids' lives, differently from a teacher, because our before after care workers see kids grow up year after year and have, and our research shows that positive adult relationships make a huge difference for children's health and well-being. So that's something that we're really aware of. We have an important role there. I think there was one question maybe that didn't get answered around hours. Zach, if you can just talk about the hours, and then what is a program director expected to do in terms of how many shifts are they doing, et cetera?
Sure. Yeah. Let's go back to that. Thank you, Jenna. So the typical hours for, again, there's flexibility, but for our program assistants who are also going to be doing noon hour, the shift starts at 7 a.m., goes to 9 a.m. There's a little break. And then again, it's kind of different on school for the noon hour, but anywhere from, I would say, 10:30, 11:30 to maybe 1:30, 2:30, doing some of that. And then our afternoon sessions start at 3:15. So staff arrive at 3:15 and you're there until 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So getting kind of that whole kind of wraparound care there. For our program directors, and Jenna, I might need you to ask again, but what I remember is asking about what those hours were. Are you actually on site doing that kind of, is that work kind of entailed on site? And the answer is yes. Our program directors will be on site. Depending on how many sites you're overseeing, keep in mind it's that 1 to 3 sites that you'd be overseeing. You'd be there, really that person, that go-to person for staff on site. So you'd be acting as the program director of that site. You'd be there sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes a full day. And then working in the middle of the day when we're not in session, the program directors be working on program planning and implementation and getting things prepared and ready, even coming up with some training for staff, those kinds of things. So I hope I've answered all that. If not, let me know.
Thank you for the clarification, Zach. And also breaking out the hours as well for the audience. Here's another question that came through. Can an associate's degree, which I think you somewhat touched upon already, but I'll read this off. Can an associate's degree be enough to get my foot in the door? I'm working on one in education.
Yes, yes. So a high school diploma will get your foot in the door. And again, you can start as an assistant and then work your way up. And the one great thing about this position also, talking about flexibility is, this is a great kind of job to start with if you're still in school or want to further your education. So you can take those classes in the middle of the day if that works for you, to kind of, round out your education and then move on to other things. So definitely.
That's a really great point, Zach, too, about if you're continuing your education and taking classes at the same time, that there's that flexibility to plan your schedule around your work schedule, around your class schedule, and vice versa. So I think that makes it achievable or achievable. All right. So another question that came through, which we haven't covered, I don't believe, or was talked a little bit about earlier, which positions provide benefits?
Okay, so really, depending on how many hours staff are willing to work, there are benefits available for both of those positions. So the program assistant / noon hour position, benefits are available for working if you're working enough hours. And then the program director position also has benefits available.
Great. So for those that are looking for benefits, it's making sure you have enough hours to meet that and that it is available for both particular roles, program
Correct.
director role and for the child care assistant / noon hour supervisor. I know that there was a couple other questions in the chat. Barbie, did we cover them all? Because I want to make sure that everybody had a chance to ask the questions they wanted.
Yeah, so in the chat we had was the annual salary for the program director and the noon assistant job. The second question I believe was answered. It was, is the salary annual and is there work when schools are closed?
Great, thank you.
So the annual salary for the program director is a range that starts at around $36,000 a year. That's for the 10-month schedule. If we have other opportunities for the summer, of course, that would be in addition. And we're working on the pay scale for the fall. Right now, our child care assistants are making $16.50 an hour.
And then if you're working the full-time or close to the full-time hour benefits, that you have those additional perks that are there for you. And not only that, you also have the continuing education that is also a benefit in terms of, typically if you're working for a company, you have to pay to attend those kinds of activities. Same thing, sometimes training, you have to pay to get trained. Well, here it's at AAPS, Rec and Ed, you're getting the training on the job, you're getting the training support, and you have these additional programs that you'll attend throughout the year to keep your skills up to date and relevant to the changing times. So I think that's great. In addition, that sometimes we need to keep that in account in how you look at the view of the jobs. And then as Jenna mentioned, that's a 10-month. The salary range that she shared was the 10-month version, so that you can decide what you want to do for those other months and pick up additional work through Ann Arbor Rec and Ed, or have the summers off for some folks that want that flexibility.
There's also other summer work available through the district too. There are always tons of summer jobs. So that's something to know.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I want to, I appreciate there, if you want to add any more questions in here, I want to make sure that we've addressed the questions that came in through registration as well. So I'm just going to pull that up if you don't mind. And that'll give a few moments if anybody wants to add additional questions. And somewhat, I think, again, this was touched upon, but I want to just read what the question is. Assuming there are vacancies at multiple schools, can applicants who are selected have a choice about which school we'd prefer to work at? Or is it decided by the AAPS team?
That's a great question. So we love to give geographical preference to our staff. And so we actually, one of the things once hired in is we will ask staff, do you have a preference, a location in mind that you would like to go to? We work really hard to make sure that happens. One of the surveys I send out to staff every year is, what are your top 2 locations that you would like to work in? We do have to make some changes sometimes because we can't have everybody on the east side and nobody on the west side, right? But we do try to accommodate as much as possible for staff for location reasons.
Thank you, Zach, for clarifying that you do your best to accommodate. So I think we've actually, everything that's been asked is about days and hours, training, that's been answered. And then preferred qualifications for applicants, top 3 skills, rapid round. What is that called? What would you say, Zach? Top 3 skills for program director and child care assistant.
Oh, I don't know. Top 3, you put me on the hot seat here, fire round. So top 3 for a program director, I think, we need to make sure that you are qualified with the licensing regulations. So we have to have that BA there. We want you to be really engaging and ready to train and work with staff, all sorts of, varying backgrounds. So we want you to be ready for that. And then for our assistant, before aftercare, noon hour assistant, I think we just want you to be very motivated and eager and excited to work with students and ready to learn on the spot, and you're just excited to work with students. Jenna, do you want to add to that?
I would say the number one thing is that you have to like children. You have to like being around them. You have to enjoy spending time with children and getting to know them, developing a relationship. If you got that, you're well on your way.
Perfect. Yeah, so great interest in the children's well-being and enrichment and their development, and then having, the ability to continue to learn. I think there's just so many great opportunities in just somebody asked about getting your foot in the door. You can get your foot in the door here at AAPS Rec and Ed. I just want to thank everybody, especially Zach and Jenna from AAPS Before and After Care and Community Division from Jenna as well, for joining us today and being very open to answering all these questions from the audience, and for our audience joining us, spending your hour with us. And we would have had some of the staff join us, but they're out with students right now. And so if you have any additional questions, please feel free to float them our way. Barbie as well is the recruiter on the team, account manager on the team. And you'll be seeing some communications with the recording of this as well. So you'll have access to it if you wanted to go back and review some notes. But just again, Zach covered this in terms of next steps. Just take a look at the Rec and Ed website to find out what the core values are, the different roles that are out there, but specifically apply directly to amycelltalent.com so we can give you that checklist and help you on your way and help you with putting your best foot forward and share this opportunity with others. Again, I'm Michelle Galbraith from Amy Cell Talent. We love working with community, and Zach and Jenna, thank you so much for partnering with us to share this wonderful opportunity for fall of 2022.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye.